going to make a difference in their own lives and in their communities and in the country as a whole. And many young people have had the opportunity to pledge towards a better South Africa. Many young people in their pledges have said that they are going to lead the country, that they are going to be professionals in their own right, they are going to be the young entrepreneurs, the captains of industry, and they are going to actually lead our country to a better future.
It seems like everything is intertwined, the walk, the I pledge, and the theme, Youth Moving South Africa Forward. But people saying that, it's all good and well that you say that we need to be innovative, we need to be creative, get involved in business. But some resources, please.
Well, we do have limited resources, and it's important that we realize that we need to, one, avoid duplication of our efforts. And so as the NYDA, we've played a role in coordinating government's efforts in a coordinated response to youth development in particular. But we also need to ensure that we have a multi-pronged approach in whatever we do. Government cannot deliver young people to the promised land. It has to be government working together with the private sector, with civil society, and with young people leading from the front. And that is why we have always said youth must lead and government will support.
Thank you very much for your time. Well, that was the chairperson of the NYDA talking to us that government cannot take the youth to the promised land, that the youth need to be creative, they need to take initiative, and whatever they are given by the government, they need to grab it and make sure that it works for them in order to be empowered and to develop. We are coming to you live from the Pretoria Showgrounds. This is where the main June 16 event is going to take place, and we're talking to people from all walks of life. And Ms. Lindiwe Zulu has just joined me now, all dressed in your uniform, ma'am. Just tell us what today means to you.
Today means there were people that sacrificed for South Africa to be free today. Today means there were young people in 76 who decided that enough was enough. Today, for me, brings back the memories of young people who decided to change the roots of South Africa in the liberation struggle. That is why we are here today. And the young people of South Africa today have to be told of that history. And I think that that history still remains to be told properly by ourselves, particularly those that participated in June 16.
What do you remember about that day, ma'am, when it started in Soweto? Just where were you and what do you remember about it all?
Well, fortunately for me, I was a student in Swaziland and not in South Africa, so my life was a little bit different than the students of Soweto. But of course, when Soweto happened, Swaziland, Botswana, Lesotho could not feel it. Everybody felt it. And as a result, after 76, the students came to live in Swaziland, and my grandmother was one of the women that kept some of the students, because all South Africans who lived in the neighboring countries were requested to take care of those students that had run away from the system. So that's how I was also influenced into joining the liberation struggle, because I had students at home that lived at home who participated in the struggle. They motivated me to join the African National Congress. Hence, I joined the African National Congress, left for exile together with them to go and train ourselves to come back and fight the system.
Now, Ms. Zulu, just some of the youth in 2015 can only imagine what happened. They've seen it, they've read it in books, they've seen it maybe being documented in movies, but they can only imagine. Just what is your message today to the youth of South Africa in terms of development and empowering themselves, taking the baton and moving forward?
My message to them is that the environment under which they live in now gives them all the opportunities to become better people. The fact that the government is so focused on education in particular means that's the future. Education is the future. So I would call upon all of them to be very serious about their school so that they can be able to participate in the building of a new country. And those who would like to start their own businesses, I'm the Minister of Small Business Development, so I would encourage them and say to them, even to become a business person, you need to be educated, so they have to be educated.
Thank you very much for your time. I just want my cameraman to just focus on the minister yet again, just to show what she's looking like, dressed in full school uniform to commemorate the youth of 1976, telling us what the youth should do. Of course, everybody, speaker after speaker, saying that youth need to be more innovative and creative. Well, things are in full swing here at the Pretoria Showgrounds. We just want to show you what's happening on stage, just so you can be part of the program.
1976, our parents stood up for freedom. Back in 1976, our parents laid down their lives. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh Yes. On the morning of 16 June 1976, between 10,000 and 20,000 black students walked from their schools to Orlando Stadium to protest against to be learned through Afrikaans. Many students who later participated in the protest arrived at the school that morning without prior knowledge of the protest. Yet they agreed to become involved. The protest was planned by the Soweto Student Representative Council with support from the wider Black Consciousness movement. Teachers and students also supported the march. Mashinini led students from the Morris Isaacson High School to join up with others who walked from Naledi High School. The students began to march, only to find out that the police had barricaded the roads along with which they intended to take. The leader of the action committee asked the crowd to move, to not be provoked by the police. The crowd of between 3,000 to 10,000 students made their way towards the area of the school. Students sang, waved placards and slogans which said, "Down with Afrikaans! Viva Sania Viva! Viva Sania Viva!" The youth, the radical youth of the 1976, the fearless youth who stood for you and I. Siyakumbula. Siyakumbula.